England, aka Golden Bottlers United. On paper, this squad looked like a FIFA Ultimate Team hacked with cheat codes. David Beckham spraying 60-yard passes like he was auditioning for Hollywood, Steven Gerrard bulldozing through midfields, Frank Lampard smashing shots that either became worldies or knocked satellites out of orbit, and Paul Scholes, who everyone agreed was a genius but for some reason spent half his England career exiled on the left wing. Up top, they had Michael Owen, once a teenage wonder kid who ran faster than puberty, and Wayne Rooney, the babyface pitbull who looked like he paid taxes at age 16. At the back, Rio Ferdinand and John Terry. One smooth, one scrappy, both brilliant. And in goal, well, let's just say England's golden goalkeepers never quite existed. Sounds unstoppable, right? Wrong. This team was like assembling the Avengers, and then realizing Iron Man and Captain America hate each other. Thor's hammer doesn't work outside the Premier League, and the Hulk only shows up for friendlies. The big problem? Gerrard and Lampard couldn't play together. Every England manager tried to force it, and it was like watching two dogs fight over the same bone in midfield. Beckham would bend it like Beckham, straight into the stands, and Rooney either injured or getting sent off for kicking someone's leg like he was auditioning for UFC. And the ending was always the same. Tournament after tournament, quarterfinal after quarterfinal. Penalties. Always penalties. It was like England were cursed by the football gods to relive the same nightmare on repeat. By 2006, fans could set their clocks by it. England crash out. Tabloids scream betrayal, and Beckham cries on the pitch like he lost his hair gel. Verdict. The most overhyped golden generation in football history. More like the bronze participation trophy generation. Portugal, golden Ronaldo, plastic everything else. Portugal's golden generation was basically a telenovela. You had Luis Figo, the poster boy with the slick hair and even slicker dribbling. Rui Costa, elegant enough to play football in a tuxedo. Deco, the Brazilian import who somehow snuck into the squad and ran the midfield like a pirate captain. Ricardo Carvalho, rock solid at the back. And then, the shiny new toy, Cristiano Ronaldo, rocking frosted tips and more stepovers than actual end product in his early days. This squad had talent oozing out of their pores. They didn't just play football, they made it look sexy. By Euro 2004, Portugal was hosting the tournament, the nation was buzzing, destiny was calling. The streets were ready for a party that would make Rio Carnival look like a tea break. They stormed their way to the final, and who was waiting for them? Greece. Not the Greece of Zeus, Hercules, and Spartan warriors. No, this was Greece with a defense so stubborn it made Stonehenge look fragile. Their tactic was simple: defend with all 11 players, pray for a corner, and let Angelos Karisteas head it in. And somehow, it worked. Portugal lost, in their own house, to Greece. It was like planning the perfect wedding, only for the bride to run off with the caterer. From there, it was a cycle of so close, yet so far. World Cup 2006, semi-finals, only to be bullied by Zidane's bald head of destiny. Euro 2008, quarterfinals. World Cup 2010, knocked out by Spain, their neighbors who actually knew how to win. And here's the kicker, this so-called golden generation never actually won a trophy. Portugal finally lifted the Euro in 2016, but by then, most of the golden boys were retired, watching from their couches, probably eating pastel de nata. Ronaldo did the heavy lifting, literally screaming from the sidelines in the final like a possessed PE teacher. Verdict, a flashy squad with all the shine, but no silverware. Basically the footballing equivalent of a sports car with no engine. Looks amazing, but won't get you anywhere. Belgium, the FIFA rankings champions. The team that somehow spent years as the #1 ranked team in the world, and without ever winning a single meaningful thing. If FIFA rankings gave out trophies, Belgium's cabinet would be bigger than Brazil's. Instead, their cupboard looks emptier than Lukaku's shot conversion rate at a World Cup. This golden generation had everything. Eden Hazard, a dribbling magician who could roast defenders for fun, until he discovered kebabs at Real Madrid. Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best playmakers alive, delivering passes so perfect you'd think he was coding cheat codes into real life. Romelu Lukaku, the striker built like a tank, with the finishing of a guy who left his glasses at home. And Thibaut Courtois, the giant goalie who could save everything, except Belgium's reputation. On paper, this squad looked like Avengers Assemble. On the pitch, more like the Justice League movie. Overhyped, messy, and disappointing. World Cup 2014. Quarterfinal exit, Euro 2016. Knocked out by Wales. Yes, Wales. The team whose highlight reel before then was that one time Ryan Giggs scored a solo goal. A World Cup 2018? Okay, they peaked. Semi-final, beat Brazil, finished 3rd place. Belgium fans celebrated like they'd actually won, but really, it's like bragging you came 3rd in a spelling bee. Congrats. Here's your bronze sticker, Euro 2020, out to Italy. World Cup 2022, absolute collapse. Hazard vanished, Lukaku missed chances from 2 feet out, and De Bruyne literally said mid-tournament, "We're too old to win this." Imagine your own star player delivering your obituary while you're still playing. Verdict: Belgium's golden generation was like a Tinder profile. Looked amazing in pictures, but the reality never matched up. More like the participation medal generation. They'll go down in history as the team that could have been, but instead became the kings of wasted potential. The Netherlands, total football, total failure. The kings of almost. The Dutch are like that friend who always shows up dressed to kill, but somehow spills wine on themselves before the party even starts. In the 1970s, they unleashed total football, a system so revolutionary it made the rest of the world look like they were still kicking around with medieval leather balls. Johan Cruyff was the brain, the legs, and the cheekbones of the operation. Players rotated positions like they were playing musical chairs, except instead of sitting down, they were humiliating opponents. This was supposed to be destiny. They swaggered into the 1974 World Cup final against West Germany. First minute of the game, the Dutch strung together so many passes that Germany didn't even touch the ball until they were already 1-0 down from a penalty. Imagine being in a World Cup final and not even touching the ball before conceding. Humiliating? But then, the collapse. West Germany rallied, scored twice, and the Dutch, the pioneers of beautiful football, forgot the small detail that goals win matches. They lost. But hey, no worries, right? 4 years later, 1978, another final. This time against Argentina in Buenos Aires. But once again, when it mattered, they folded like a cheap camping chair. Argentina took it 3-1. 2 finals, 2 losses, the beautiful bridesmaid of world football. And it didn't stop there. In 2010, another golden chance with Robben, Sneijder, and Van Persie. Spain in the final, and what do the Dutch do? They ditch their beautiful football and decide to cosplay as karate fighters. Nigel de Jong delivered the most famous kung fu kick in football history right into Xabi Alonso's chest. Still lost 1-0. Verdict: the Netherlands have had multiple golden generations, but all they really won was the title of world's most stylish losers. Total football, more like total failure when it actually mattered. Hungary, the OG hipster golden generation. Before Belgium made hipster football hype cool, there were the mighty Magyars of 1950s Hungary. This wasn't just a football team, this was a damn cheat code. They had Ferenc Puskás, a guy who scored goals like he was playing FIFA on beginner mode. Sándor Kocsis, whose heading ability made defenders question whether gravity worked differently in Hungary. And Nándor Hidegkuti, the false 9 before Pep Guardiola made it trendy. They didn't just beat teams, they humiliated them. From 1950 to 1954, Hungary went on a 4-year unbeaten run, scoring goals like they were handing them out at a charity drive. Their crowning moment? Smacking England 6-3 at Wembley in 1953, the first time England had ever lost at home to a team outside the British Isles. The English press literally called it the match of the century. Hungary turned the inventors of football into Sunday League amateurs. So naturally, everyone thought the 1954 World Cup was already theirs. And it started perfectly. They battered South Korea 9-0, smashed West Germany 8-3 in the group stage, destroyed Brazil, took down Uruguay, the defending champions. They were football's Death Star, obliterating planets in their path. Then came the final. A rematch with West Germany. Hungary were 2-0 up after 10 minutes. Puskás and company already looked like they were preparing their trophy lifting poses. Easy win, right? Wrong. Germany clawed back, equalized, then scored a third. Hungary, unbeaten for 4 years, suddenly couldn't buy a goal. Final whistle blew, West Germany 3, Hungary 2. The miracle of Bern, the most shocking collapse in football history. The mighty Magyars went home without the trophy, and their golden era ended faster than you can say curse. Puskás eventually fled to Spain, Hungary's dominance vanished, and football fans still scratch their heads wondering how one of the greatest teams ever didn't win the World Cup. Verdict: legendary, revolutionary, and yet the unluckiest golden generation of all time. The original proof that in football, it doesn't matter how pretty you play, it's the scoreboard that writes history.